Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere and anywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Black Man's Spy with Malcolm Nance. I'm your co-host, Swazi Lion, and we got our amazing extravaganza Middle East expert, Danish intelligence, Jacob Karsbo is also here, all the way from Denmark.
All the way, not from Copenhagen, from the north of Denmark today. And Malcolm is with us somewhere, but he can't get into his hotel room. Is that it?
That's right.
I'm listening to you too. Yeah, I'm gonna be on in a minute. I'm gonna be on in a minute.
Well, I tell you what, in the matter of 24 hours, so much has happened. Uh, Things have spiraled into so many deal or no deal. We might as well have Howie Mandel come over here and have a whole bunch of bags for us. So every time Trump makes his mind about whether he should or shouldn't make a deal, like he would be there showing us bags. Deal
That's
or no
what.
deal?
That's why today's show is the taco.
The Taco Nacho show. Yeah, but I'm just one thing here. I'm at the airport, so I have to just pay the cab in a sec. But just one point here. It tells you all you need to know about Trump and U.S. credibility at the moment. When you have to wait for announcements to be confirmed by Tasnim, the IRGC media in Iran to confirm anything before you believe it. How is that? We find ourselves in a situation where they need to confirm stuff that we hear from a U.S. president. That's shocking, man.
Well, when the boy that keeps coming back from the jungle and saying there's a wolf in the jungle keeps yelling back, there's a wolf in the jungle. And when we go and check the jungle every time and there's nothing, next time we're gonna just ask the wolf himself, "Where are you at?"
Yes. Yeah. But
Where are
that's
you
where we're
at?
at. That's where we're at. That's the reality we have to deal with.
It is, and you know what? Trump's statements had a huge effect on the oil market. That the oil was yesterday at 90 what, 92, 93.
Yeah.
Today is at $85 for the WTI.
That's happy days. Happy days.
Uh-huh.
Happy
$85.
days. Okay.
So Brent crude is at 88. Merban is at 84.
Super tak for turen. Tak.
And then the Iranians are saying there's nothing confirmed. Trump says, well, there's no nuclear weapon. I'm like, there wasn't a nuclear weapon.
There's not even nuclear dust.
There was never a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, exactly. They promised no nukes. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
This is just a preview about everything that's happening. There's a lot of interesting events. There's an explosion that happened also in Kharg Island, or was it?
Really?
Yeah, yesterday there was an unexpected explosion that happened, but we still don't know the cause of it. But
Okay.
it's in Iran. It happened right before we announced that we're so close to a deal. The explosion happened.
Yeah. I think the announcement by Trump. How many hours was that after he threatened once again to take Kharg Island? It was only
I
a
think it
matter
was
of a
just a
few
matter of like
hours.
2 or 3 hours. 2 or 3 hours, yeah.
it was really quite insane. But at least we can say, like we talked about yesterday, he recycles his threats, so he's into the recycling business, which is nice.
Well, yeah, following the downing of the U.S. Army Apache helicopter, President Trump authorized 2 consecutive nights of maximum intensity precision bombardment targeting Iranian manufacturing hubs, military barracks, and air defense nodes
Yeah,
across Tehran and the southern Hormuz province.
yeah. Aside from the downing of the Apache, I think all this that we've seen this week also has served the purpose, for Trump to line up an argument for a deal and say, "Oh, we bumped them anew," and then they gave concessions. So we bumped them into concessions. So now we get a really good deal, and so on. I think it's part of his theater, as I see it.
I don't know if you know, but Trump abruptly made up his decision on Thursday afternoon yesterday that he wants to end on a social media post.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that our special forces we were having some sort of airplane heading that way. Well, hold on, I have that story in my Substack. Uh, while Trump like had that tweet going or that Truth Social post going, our forces were on the way to go make a hit, and we were about to go hit Iran, and they didn't know that Trump posted a post saying that we are close to a peace deal, and we were actually
No,
close to actually
exactly.
fucking it all up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to
It's
go find that.
but that's really that
Oh, here you
tells you
go.
all, doesn't
U.S.
it?
military forces were within 3 hours of executing missile strikes against Iranian targets when social media post by Donald Trump announcing a settlement abruptly aborted the operation. Tactical operations were already in their final stages, with naval
Yeah.
units having adjusted flight path, uh, m- motion armed, and strike order
Yeah.
officially issued.
Because only 3 hours prior or 4 hours prior, Trump had stated that they would attack again tonight. That whole telegraph of further attacks. So of course, out at the sharp end, they'd been preparing to make good on that, and then yeah, suddenly, we're close to a deal again.
That tells me there's a huge disconnect between the executive rhetoric and the military planning.
Yeah, but the military planning, they have to be ready to carry out, what the president orders. And when he says we're going to strike tonight, they say, oh, and when he changes his mind 3 or 4 times later, they are called back, obviously. So it doesn't surprise me the least. Because those threats that were posted half an hour before we went on yesterday were genuine, I think. And then he changed his mind. So I'm skeptical that something crucial happened with the Iranians in that time span, but I could be mistaken. But I think it's
Yeah,
Trump that has changed his mind.
you're
Well,
mistaken.
welcome back.
You
Hold on,
didn't
let
even
me
hear
just
what
get
I
this
was
camera
saying,
back on.
man.
I heard every word you said.
What was
That's
the
the
mistake?
problem. We're sitting listening. No, you're not mistaken. I mean, you're right. The military has to do what the military does, which is to sit around and wait for orders. And those orders can be stupid, contradictory. They can do all sorts of things, but you have to follow them, no matter whether there's a dumbass in charge of the White House or not. Right? And in this particular instance, did you guys hear the discussion that was had? Because if you want to know anything, now it's Trey Yingst and Barack Ravid. They're calling these guys up and they're like, here's what we want you to tell everybody. Talk about leaking. Trump's the fucking leaker. Barack Ravid said Trump had sat around with the cabinet and got convinced himself that that Pete Hegseth's negotiate by bombing was going to so impress the Iranians that they would go, whoa, that's too much. I swear to God, the stupidity here, as I call it, this is a matter of cultural intelligence. I'm going to turn so I got better light. But this is a matter of a lack of cultural intelligence. This is why people like me and Jacob exist. We can tell you that's not going to impress them. Bombing them is not going to impress them. It does nothing. What it does is it makes them mad. And makes them think about what kind of fun bombings they can do against you. And Trump,
I think the point is the bombings impress the Trump's and Hegseth's voters. And that's why they do it. And that's why they make that posture. And then they say, well, we bombed them into submission.
It's as simple as this. They love it personally. They love, we're going to bomb. And you know what? I think they sit around the Oval Office and Hegseth's like, we're going to give it to them now. No, you didn't. The bombing that happened was so fucking small in comparison to everything that's been done in the war. 49 Tomahawks? Didn't we fire off like 500 Tomahawks or something? We depleted a third of the entire Tomahawk inventory in the U.S. military. So what made you think 49 Tomahawks, they're going to listen to us now. They're going to come to the table. They're going to go. And one other thing, you know how he does this little pantomime show of his, like a little puppet show where he goes, oh, I spoke to the Iranians and they like me, but they have the Ayatollah who I have a personal relationship with. Lie one, lie two, lie three. And the Iranians are sitting back. I shit you not, someday there will be a puppet show in Tehran where all they will do is they'll have a Trump puppet and they'll just read the actual things that he says and kids will fucking fall on their asses laughing. But Trump comes out and he makes these fantastical lying statements, just lies, where he says, they want a deal. They called me and said, oh, Mr. Trump, stop bombing. And they go, this is, by the way, everything I'm telling you is true. And he said, they called me and said, stop bombing. And I said, okay, I'm going to stop bombing, but let's make a real deal now. It's like, is there no body in the room who go, you're a lying bitch.
It's bullshit.
I mean, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar.
It's just bullshit.
It's
bullshit.
And now we're on Taco Thursday, Taco Wednesday, Taco Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now we're on Taco Friday, and it's still nacho. Right? Never, no, what is it? What is nacho?
Hormuz opens.
Yeah, that's right. Not a chance Hormuz opens. Nacho Friday.
Friday.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's it.
You would think.
That's it,
you would think that after spending 100 days and of bombarding Iran, we would have known by now that using pressure, military pressure on Iran doesn't work.
Yeah.
You would have think by now you would have learned that mistake.
No.
But for some reason, no, we have to convince the Iranians by throwing a couple more bombs in there to tell
What?
them to come to the table. Like, the
Watch ya.
Iranians are in a rush. Like,
Watch ya. I shit you not. I am about to give you the analogy of a lifetime. It's not just drunken monkeys spinning around shooting AK-47s. It's drunken monkey. No, you know what it's like? It's like kids, right? Kids who are high on, whatever, attention deficit drug du jour it is, all right? Or cheap beers that they stole from their dad's liquor cabinet or something. And they're throwing firecrackers at the cats and dogs in the house. And they think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. And when they get tired of it for a minute, they go, whoa, that was great. Did you see how the cat ran? And the one kid looks at the other and he goes, bigger firecrackers. And he starts throwing it at the cats and dogs in the house. This is what these morons are. America's foreign policy is being led by two fucking idiots and a bunch of firecrackers. I say this again, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, there is nothing the Americans haven't fired in our inventory except 10 hypersonic missiles, which have the blast effect of a regular 2,000-pound bomb. It doesn't do anything different. And I wouldn't be surprised if we fired some of those the other day just to see how it would work against the mountain, and we haven't said anything. But
That would have
there's
given
nothing.
Hexet hard on, man. I tell you.
Well, he started raging like he had a freaking, hypersonic boner the other day, where he came out of there where he couldn't do his reps on the weight bench and was like, yeah, we negotiate with bombs. Yeah, you know what they negotiate with? A cup of tea and the price of oil. But I'd like to call attention to something, Wajia. I know you didn't bring up the oil. You talked about oil, but did somebody bring up today's oil prices yet?
I can't pull it up.
What you did, 85, did you say that?
85. Is it really on oilprices.com? 85 WTI?
Yes, sir.
There's an article, if you go to the center, there's a third article in there. That's insanity. There's an article in there talking about how the markets are decoupled from reality, of the reality of real physical oil. They said it's decoupled. I believe it's a Polish woman who wrote this article. And I read it and I was like, oh, hell. Oh, no. This is where the traders are people who believe Trump over the actual figures of oil disappearing from the global market. Now, as intelligence people, we would have economic intelligence guys for this, right? We would have an oil desk. And we were like, oil desk, what the fuck? And he'd be like, oh no, I'm telling you, things are going to get bad here in a couple of weeks, like bad. But every goddamn one of them this is how we had the housing market collapse in 2008. Just imaginary fantasy belief that everything was okie dokie. And Barack Obama, I read, came into his first meeting with John McCain in October of 2008, and he fucking went into a panic. And one of the briefers in the room from the Department of Energy was like, housing or finance or something, was like, wow, this guy asked every question that was correct. And and his last question was, how are we getting out of this? And they were like, well, there is a pathway out of it, but it's going to take a lot of liquidation, a lot of liquid. You're going to have to get blah, blah, blah. Obama did everything, saved the global economy. And most people this is what pisses me off about people. He saved the whole fucking world in January 2009. He saved it. He got everything that they told him in October 2008. He did. And it saved 3 American auto companies at the same time. But now we've got drunk monkeys who are throwing firecrackers at the cat. And they're like, this loud noise shit is the best. And everybody will do whatever we say if we hold up hand grenades and pop the pin like they're on
Yeah.
fucking Peaky Blinders. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
this is stupid. And they don't even have the fucking style of Peaky Blinders.
Nah.
Help me,
I don't know
Jesus.
if you saw this. I don't know if you saw this, but the CEO of Shell came out yesterday and said that
Yesterday?
yesterday and
Do that. I'm
said
going to
that
get my laptop.
there is a critical 1.2 billion barrel deficit in the global oil market. The shortfall equating to a 12-day of total planetary consumption directly eliminated by the ongoing conflict in Iran. I think
Yeah.
that's basically we have another 10, 11 more days of nice access to oil.
Is that what he
And then
said?
basically that's what I think he's trying to
That's
say.
the CEO of Shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because before it was a couple of weeks ago, it was the senior
Chevron.
vice president of, no, it was the CEO of Chevron,
Yeah.
senior vice president of Exxon.
Yeah.
And if now we have Shell,
Yeah.
this ain't
And it was
funny.
ADNOC.
This
ADNOC?
is the ADNOC.
معشر الصراع الداخلي في إيران 10% إنتاج النفط الخارجي.
Okay, a little pause on. Last thing I heard was ADNOC.
Yeah. You're through now. Just there's no picture, but
Go
I
on.
think your sound is all right, Malcolm.
Yeah, I hear
Oh.
you. I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi yet, but go on.
Okay. Okay.
Last thing I heard was this ADNOC.
Yeah, it was also ADNOC 10 days ago. But now it's Shell. And is he saying, what is he saying, 10 days?
Yes, this
That's
is
also the 4 weeks they were, no, 2-3 weeks they were talking about 10 days ago.
Yeah, they were saying by the end of June, first week of July. What did
Yeah.
ADNOC say? ADNOC is Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. Okay. When they talk, we listen. They actually have the oil in their hands. What did
Yeah.
they say at ADNOC?
No, I can't remember exactly their formulation, but it was, the same time as Exxon and Chevron came out. ADNOC was out saying something similar.
Oh,
I can't remember the exact wording.
But this is the weird thing. I told you there are two sets of demons or devils on Trump's shoulder. He's got Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Lindsey Graham on this shoulder, all poking him. And then on this shoulder, he's got the CEO of Exxon, Shell, ADNOC, every major oil company, plus every banking company, plus every financial market going, hey, this is going to get bad. We're going to lose every one of the dollars you stole, right? By manipulating the market. Everyone's losing all their money here because of oil companies. And then you know what they're saying. I think he actually panics. He comes, they go $6 a barrel by 4th of July, after 4th of July. As we move towards August, we could be $7, $8 a barrel. Again, the world global oil market is a swimming pool. And everything feeds into that pool, even if it's crappy oil like Venezuela or tar sands from Canada or Russia's. This stuff in many instances has to be blended. And in this particular circumstance, apparently, Trump doesn't care. Every day the Gulf is closed, we teeter towards global economic disaster. And he's like, woo, firecrackers.
Yeah. That it gives him the bigger boner, apparently.
Wow, can I just say this is not positive? Okay, this is not positive news in any stretch of the imagination. Okay,
No.
tell me something else. So we've exhausted the subject that Trump did a massive taco attack. Okay, attack. Let's stop attacking. Okay, we're going to not one big last attack. And now you're coming to the table, right? We have a deal. This guy, how does no one but the oil companies believe him? And like
and
you
Malcolm,
said,
that was 3 or 4 hours, within 3 or 4 hours, it went from we're attacking again tonight, we're taking Carg Island, to we have a deal.
We have an imminent deal.
Imminent, yeah.
I don't know. I would really, the book that's going to come out of this is awesome, because who is the person that believes the Iranians are cracking? I shit you not. I am not joking. I really believe he's negotiating with Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat.
Borat.
Borat is there, Mr. Trump. We give you 8 oil tankers of the oil. You are too awesome. I ask Mujtaba. Mujtaba, what we give Donald?
Yes, says Mujtaba. Yes, we love you.
I would talk to him. I am so much afraid of his many bombings. That's why I stay in the bunker. Donald John Trump, he's such, do you see his hair? His hair is the greatest. We're wrapped in a loop tape of stupid. Somebody write that down. That needs to be a t-shirt. They're trapped in a loop tape of stupid. Okay, what else are there?
It's amazing. We sit here the next day, and everyone that wants to know something, they're looking, what does Tasnim say?
Tasnim News. We have to check against the Iranians to find out if it's true. This is like suddenly North Korean news is all facts. They're BBC.
Exactly. And someone, for 20 years, Malcolm, 25 years, we've been saying, Tasnim, okay, they'll just write some
bullshit.
Shit. Yeah. Now it's like we have to use them to validate whatever Trump is saying.
Tasnim comes out.
It's fucking crazy.
Tasnim comes out with video. Okay. They've video and Legos. The two things that have dominated, Iran has dominated out here. So when they say they hit an F-35, they generally have video. If they lie, well, they don't have video. That being said, so that's where we are today. What other news? Is there any other news? Did you guys go through the books?
No, I've been on a stage and I've been traveling. So
okay.
I'm just a commentator. I don't know.
Good. You guys will have to catch some questions.
One thing that's super important that we need to keep track of, that I haven't been able to check, is what is happening in Lebanon. What is Bibi actually doing?
As far as I can tell,
that's the most important question.
As far as I can tell, they've bombed every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
he just doesn't care.
Are they bombing ahead today?
I don't know about this morning. I just got off an airplane, so I don't know about in the last 7 hours. But watch, take a look at your Al Arabiya or whatever, see what's going on in Lebanon. But he has pretty much just convinced Trump to just look in the other direction. Nothing's going on here. I did see something, by the way, back to the negotiations. One of the articles that I read when I was in mid-flight said that this negotiation, the Iranians only agreed to the 4 points they agreed to 2 weeks ago, right? That one, the war, this document, the MOU, would be considered an end to the war.
Yeah.
2, they would open the Strait of Hormuz to the previous amount of shipping. ... subject to IRGC control, right? In other words, multi-pass. Even if it's tollless billing, right? You go get a bill. All right. The third thing is that the United States would lift the blockade, and it would be gradiated. It would be subject to compliance on the Strait of Hormuz. And 4, $12 billion was going to fall off the back of a truck. in front of Mujtaba Khomeini's super secret bunker, right? And so those were the 4 points, and the most important point was, actually, this is number 4. We will dedicate 60 days of negotiations to work out all of the big issues like nuclear materials, blah, blah, blah. I read an analysis that was by, I think it was Jonathan Lemire, who said everything that has happened in the last 2 weeks is because Trump, if you recall 2 weeks ago, both Trump and Mujtaba al-Khomeini were supposed to sign off on that, right?
Yeah.
And that everyone below Trump and everyone below Mujtaba al-Khomeini had said, yes, this
Yeah.
deal is good. And you recall, that's when it went nuts. 2 days after, when Trump says, oh, we're going to have a deal by Wednesday. 2 days after, Trump comes out and he's like, all nuclear material must be turned over to the United States, and it has to be surrendered. And then he started putting out the cuckoo 3 times in the last 2 months. He put out that tweet where he said they must raise the white flag of surrender, right? And come out with their hands up and their weapons. And Mujtaba al-Khomeini's like, he's reading it and he's like, yeah, okay, pretty much what? He looks up and he goes, we're ready to deal. This guy's not a serious person. He's not a person you can believe in any capacity. And Trump's like, let's change it. So according to this analysis, all of this, every inch of this mayhem has been like the Iranians sitting across the table looking at him while he's ranting back and forth and marching up and down on the table and then launching pew, 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 shooting guns off like Yosemite Sam. And the Iranians have been waiting for him. All they were waiting for was him to say yes. And Mujtaba would have said yes. And the war would have ended 2 weeks ago. And that what we said earlier is that he restarted everything. And of course, he had Rubio, Netanyahu, Hegseth. Hegseth, more than anyone, and Netanyahu wanted him to start attacking again. And he convinced Trump, walked in and convinced him that if you just bomb a little more, they'll come to the table. I'm so frustrated from this. It's so goddamn stupid. It hurts.
Yeah. It does.
Princess Patricia Hegseth and Princess Rubio, they're both somehow very attached to the escalation ladder. And they believe that with escalation, they can resolve most of America's conflict, which if they looked at America's history, they would have learned something, a thing or two from Afghanistan or a thing or two from Vietnam. We have entered many war of attritions, but like Iran, we have not seen. Iran has been preparing for this for 30 years. Let me tell you why. When you attack their closest people, which is in Iraq, and you have invaded Iraq, and they have invested so much in the Iraqi militias, you don't think they were paying attention to what the U.S. was doing and how they were targeting big leaders and what they need to do in their country to change their tactics? So if the United States attacks Iran, they would be more resilient. That's exactly what they did for the last 20 years. They've been watching the United States conduct its decapitation strikes, whether it's Osama bin Laden or anyone else, and they have created the most sophisticated government on the planet. I'm done.
Pause. Breaking news. This is why, if I'm traveling, you guys should check the news. All right. Apparently, 4 hours ago, while I was over the Atlantic, you guys will get the brief on where I'm at. Iran's Mir news agency publishes the purported text of a draft agreement with Trump. So apparently, the agreement is out. It will keep the Strait of Hormuz under Iranian control. They will promise Iran $300 billion in reconstruction money, a suspension of sanctions, and the withdrawal of U.S. forces in the Middle East. Also, a commitment to not bother Iran again about its missiles or proxies and restraining Israel and Lebanon. Let me tell you something. Hold on. This is Iran pulling the full Donald Trump.
Yeah.
This is Iran making up their own version of the MOU. It's like, fuck it. Hey, fuck it. If Trump can do it, we can do this. Here, what do you wish, Mujtaba? Every fucking thing. It's like Donald Trump, and you know what? Here's the kicker. They'll probably say,
We have a great deal.
Marco Rubio agreed to all of this. You can see Trump turning around, staring daggers at Marco Rubio, right? Like, you're getting fired next. You're getting the full Tulsi Gabbard. I won't even let you go clean out your desk. We'll have a contractor, GSA contractor, clean out your desk for Marco Rubio if this is true. And then it says in the end, I like this. This is Yaroslav Trofimov. Guy is a great scholar. Who wrote the book of The Siege of Mecca. I don't know if you've ever read that. That book's world class about when the pre-Al-Qaeda Osama bin Laden's younger brother helped a group called they were a Mahdiist group. Come in there.
Yes. My great uncle actually served in that conflict with the French special forces to open.
Yeah, they seized the Grand Mosque in Mecca. And anyway, he wrote that book, so he's not bullshit. I like this. It goes, the U.S. gets in exchange a pinky promise to respect the non-proliferation treaty. We promise.
Yes.
And I like the analysis. Here's the analysis by Michael Weiss, who's a good national security scholar. If this is it, I can see why Trump wants Vance to attend the signing ceremony. He's throwing Vance under the bus. If J.D. Vance lied and signed it with the Iranians. I never agreed to this. It just has my signature on it.
Yeah.
You guys get it. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, this thing is real. Everybody is saying this is happening. David Schuster, withdraw all forces from the Persian Gulf, lift all sanctions on Iran, give Iran $12 billion immediately, $12 billion after 60 days, then $300 billion in reconstruction. Let Iran control the Strait of Hormuz. Trump gets that pinky promise to discuss nukes. This is not a deal. This is a U.S. surrender. Guys, y'all got to check the news this week. Come on. It's crazy. That's one hour ago. That came from David Schuster. This real, holy cow. Okay. Trump's team was ready to fly to Geneva this weekend for a deal signing ceremony. Then Iran goes, we don't have any deal.
We said what we've been saying for 2 months.
God. I'm so glad we did it this way, where I didn't actually go and take notes for 6 hours, that I was flying comfortably over the Atlantic, snoring away, and woke up because it's much funnier this way. It's much funnier for us to have gone through what we think was happening, and then to go back through it and go, holy shit, it's all real. We are so good at this game, guys.
When the Iranians have this posted by Mir, it tells us that that's the story they want to get out. And then it would be the demands they've had all the time anyway.
So, here's one. So this is a good analysis. Trump to the Iranian people in January. Help is on the way. Trump today gives Iran everything they wanted after a stupid and costly war. Oh, God. Yeah. And now Trump yesterday, I guess, said Yeah, in audio, he had a tele-rally that we ended the war with Iran today. How many times is that? That's like 39, 40. They have agreed to never have a nuclear weapon. Pinky promise.
Wonderful.
I love that an assessment. A pinky promise. That's Department of
No
Stupid shit
nuclear
right there,
weapon.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Hunter Biden have to say? Oh, the new leader of the Democratic Party. Oh, wait. I just saw a report from Faris News. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves for a minute while we get this lined up, because I think we should do the show this way, where I don't do the research beforehand and I read the news in real time and we just laugh our asses off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like this comment. Brandon Weichert says, I am increasingly of a mind that Trump has paused the war for no other reason than his stupid UFC fight. And he doesn't
I
want the
wouldn't be
images
surprised.
of him sitting in the stands as Marines land on Karg Island. Prove me
Yeah.
wrong.
That comment is
Okay.
not too far away from reality. You didn't pay attention to what happened in the last 3 days. He went to the Knicks game and
Yeah,
he
I know.
didn't
Oh,
do
whoa,
anything.
I know. I'm from New York. I know.
And meanwhile, Vanilla Ice is singing the only song he knows.
What's that? Wait, Ice Ice Baby?
Yeah.
Oh, God, help me.
Now
Okay,
that all the others refuse to attend.
everybody has contradictory reporting on this. Now, the overwhelming consensus is Iranians are like, we have never had a deal. We had an MOU, and we're not agreeing to what Trump says.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 14 point that's coming out of they're calling memorandum of understanding, the Iranians. They're not calling it a deal.
14 points. It was supposed to be like 4 points. What do they say? I'm getting the latest news, by the way. So
Yeah. The 14 points is
go ahead, see if you can find it. All right.
I had it pulled out a second ago right here. An immediate and permanent halt to fighting on all fronts. A U.S. pledge to not to interfere in Iran internal affairs. Lifting of all maritime blockade within 30 days. A U.S. commitment to withdraw forces from the area around Iran.
Okay.
Reopening the Strait of Hormuz within 30 days under Iran arrangement. Suspending sanctions on Iranian oil, petrochemical production and related revenues, and making Iran financial resources fully accessible. The U.S. and its allies will present the $300 billion to Iran. The 60-day negotiation toward a final agreement covering a nuclear issue, full sanction relief, and the rest of the things that you discussed. And then an Iranian commitment not to produce a nuclear weapon. During the negotiation, the U.S. will not increase its forces in the region or impose new sanctions. The release of another $24 billion in frozen Iranian funds during the 60-day negotiation period. So the 300 is different than the 24.
24, 300 separate. 24 is their money, their pallet of cash, part one, their pallet of cash. Did I mention it's not even a pallet of cash, okay? It's 13 pallets of cash twice. 26 pallets of cash for Barack Obama's one. And then I don't know how many, what is it, like 100 pallets of cash for the $300 billion reconstruction fund. Hey, just an administrative note here for those of you who have been watching. I did put up a question and answer post on chat. You can now go and ask your questions, but wait for me to answer them later. I'm on the other side of the Atlantic. I spent the whole night flying. And we really, like everyone in the world, we really don't know what's going on. I feel like Jon Stewart, right? When he's
Yeah.
he goes, what? What? But I do have some news, some
I
breaking
have
news.
two. There's like 3 more points, and then the
Um,
establishing a monetary monitoring mechanism to implement the agreement. The final agreement must be approved by the UN Security Council, and the final negotiation will not begin before the release of half of the Iranian frozen funds. That
More money, more money.
One of
Don't come
the
into the strip club without half the money you're going to give to Crystal on stage 3 in the VIP room. Don't come into the club. That's what they're saying. And then we'll take your card. Okay.
one of our viewers asked, "What about Israel and Lebanon?" And that's what the Iranians mean when they say all fronts in
Ceasefire.
point 1. They want ceasefire in Lebanon as well. And as long as the Israelis keep up the offensive, they are unlikely to sign anything, not even a concept of a deal.
Okay. So Fox News,
a deal.
breaking news. It was 20 seconds when I was trying to break in, 20 seconds old when I was trying to break in. Fox News anchor Asha Hassani, which I find funny that they have a person who is a Shia Muslim, or at least her family's heritage is, quoting a White House official says, "Now, what you are about to hear is the most hilarious spin on what Wadja just read. Wadja just read facts, right? So remember how I told you in survival school, we teach you not to tell the truth, right? I am a super spy who entered your country through, parachute to come and assassinate your leader, right? That's the truth. What you would give them is facts. I found myself in your country. I am here. I am here on a mission of peace, which will be peace after I assassinate your leader, right? You give them a series of facts that never amount to the truth. Here it is. Here is Donald Trump's. This came from the White House to Fox News about a minute ago. Hey, y'all, nuclear material will be destroyed and removed, but it probably won't be by us, and it might be in 30 years, right? Hey, y'all, nuclear material will be dismantled.
That's
Probably not
fantastic.
by us. When they take it out of the tunnels and then dismantle the containers to build atomic bombs. That's the truth, right? Number 3, none of their money will be released until they perform. Their performance is the signature on that document, and we will give them all of the money plus $300 billion, right? Hey, number 4, Hormuz Strait will be open under Iranian control. Number 5, no funding of terrorist groups. We do not consider any of our proxies terrorists, so okay. But we will fund Hezbollah, Hamas,
It's resistance.
and the Houthis.
It's the resistance.
They are co-religionists, not terrorists. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, this has been one. You know what? For a day where we really didn't start with information, it has been way more informative than anything that we've had in a long time, because our previous facts just could not be as hilarious as this line of bullshit. That right there. What I just read to you that Fox News said, this is what we would call accurate use of resistance techniques. You explain away everything in your version of the truth, even if it amounts to a fantastical lie, which this does, right? Hey, y'all, we getting everything after Iran gets 10 times of everything.
Because we've been bombing them, so now they
bombs
really
and dudes and what does he always say? I need dudes
bump
and
them
jets
into
and bombs.
submission.
Okay. Faris News Agency 7 minutes ago has rejected reports Iran and the U.S. will sign an agreement in Geneva on Sunday. You know that airplane's already there. The advanced team was there. Trump was like, we're getting it done, y'all. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, new comment from Trump. I got to confirm this comment. Iran are very dishonorable people to deal with them. There is no such thing as dealing in good faith.
We will start bombing again.
I said, and they're going to say, what are you talking about? We delivered your camels, 100 camels. He goes, these are dogs with the word camel written on them in bad English with a K. They're camels. You didn't say what kind of camels. So that apparently things are going nuts. It's changing literally minute to minute right now. This is is it 9 o'clock? That's what the problem is. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. And so, yeah. And Trump is now tacoing left and right. Now he's mad, according to this. But 2 hours ago, Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement. As long as I am prime minister of Israel, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. Bro, you might not be prime minister of Israel very long. I don't even have a coffee cup. I gotta go over to patisserie, one of these patisseries here, or Pret a Manger or Pret a Porter or whatever. Okay, let's go through last comments. I will answer your questions offline because they're literally every other commentary in the news right now is contradicting itself. I mean, I got one from 2 seconds ago. Iran is doing a ceasefire. All right. I got another one right below it that says J.D. Vance is not going to Geneva now. Right. Figure, y'all. All right. Oh, I hope you guys had as much fun as I had. I'm jet lagged. I'm tired. I only have one double espresso in me. I haven't eaten anything in 8, 9, 10 hours. I just drove in a insanely crowded place. And it took me an hour and a quarter to get from the airport where it should take 15 minutes. So y'all are just going to have to put up with the mayhem we deal with. Oh, Denise Clover wants to know, where in the world is Malcolm? I will tell you. Malcolm is back in London. I am back in London. In fact, I am in Russell Square. If any of you want to go meet me for coffee, right? I'm going to be, I'm here for a special event that's being held at Bletchley Park. For those of you who know anything about code breaking, that's where they broke the Enigma codes. I am a lifetime member of the Friends of Bletchley Park, which is their association of Bletchley Park. And they are having a special event tomorrow, which is a 1940s weekend. I didn't know that. I'm going to learn the swing dance, y'all. And but they have a special set aside for Friends of. I am, as a cryptologist, I have long been a friend of Bletchley Park. People I know who were at GCHQ, which is Britain's version of NSA, will be coming to visit, and that I know. And then we will, talk smack. I get another tour of the Lorenz machine. It's one of the Enigma machines people didn't know about. It was Hitler's personal encoding system, was called the Lorenz cipher. And it was only like Hitler and his top 10 people. And that's them calling me right now. No, that's probably them wanting to bring up my bags. So anyway, I will be there. Yep. I'm going to do videos for this event. So stay tuned to this and we'll get on to that. Jacob, Waja, sign us off.
Yeah. I will go through security to catch my plane shortly and go back to Copenhagen.
I wish you safe travels, Jacob, and I'm glad to see you safe, Malcolm. If you ever find a dispatch bag, remember me, but otherwise I'll have my own Q&A here coming up. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching a recording, make sure to hit that bell icon so you could receive the latest notification. And go up there, click on Malcolm Nance, and you'll find Jacob Carswell, myself, and make sure to subscribe. Malcolm Nance already received his gifts from the local stores.
Yeah, the sheikhs of London. By the way, for those of you who don't know London, I drive here all the time. You know, I just drove for 2 weeks all over, going from site to site throughout London, Wales, Cornwall, Devon, and then back to London, right? Through and the Cotswolds. So I know how to drive right-hand drive cars. I drive Land Rover Defenders. And but today was like a nice day. It stopped raining, and every person in London hit the streets, y'all. Every one of them hit the streets. And I'm in an electric car. You know,
Friday afternoon.
it has that adaptive braking. When you lift your foot off the gas, it goes, it slows like that. This was me. Every person who wanted to jaywalked. Every person who decided the crosswalk was their personal palace walked in front of me. And I just,
That's it.
and then it routes my black ass to Piccadilly Circus. And you know how much fun that is, right? You just getting past Marble Arch, all of those places. So now I'm going to be here. I got to go down to Battersea to spit on the tomb of Benedict Arnold, which is my tradition when I come to London, because I don't like traitors. And then I will go to that event. But I will be doing a special Q&A on Bletchley Park, probably on Sunday, and I may be doing it from Bletchley Park just after the show, which is going to be cool. So that place
Nice
is
museum.
amazing, and there's going to be like bomber flyovers, and the Red Arrows are going to fly over. It's going to be cool. And then I got to go home. So back to this craziness.
I have Trump tweet.
Oh, Jesus. I wanted to get out of here and get a coffee, but go ahead.
Was
The terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the real terms that were agreed on. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relations to the truth. Very dishonorable people. No deal with them. There is no such thing as deal in good faith.
We all deserve like a piece of pie with ice cream on it, because that's the
Hang
only
on.
thing that's going to make today better.
Yeah, I'll go through security and I'll get a big beer because I just need some alcohol.
You get yourself a big ass beer. Where are you flying to, Jacob? I didn't hear
I'm
that.
just flying back to Copenhagen. It's just
from
from the northern part of Denmark.
Okay, yeah, I know you're flying from the woods.
It's only a 45-minute flight, so super easy.
Really, Jutland's that far? Well, you know what? I wanted to drive there.
It's just
but
up and down again.
Up and down, take off and land. All right, Jacob Carswell, while you go get that beer, Wadja, while you go have a piece of pie. And by the way, I am going to put up a thread. If any of you are in London, you guys want to have a coffee, let me know. I'm in Russell Square, which is Bloomsbury. Bloomsbury Park's there. Russell Square's right there. One of my favorite sites, I'm bringing flowers, is to the Inayat Noor Khan. She was an SOE agent who was executed by the Nazis in World War II. She was of Indian extraction. So I got to keep solidarity with us brown spies, right? So, I may be around. We may get together. So check it out on the Substack chat for special British only. Do not come on and just start blabbing about everything else. I want to see who's in London, and, maybe I'll even get down to Major Andre, who's in Westminster Cathedral. He's the guy that turned Benedict Arnold into a traitor. He was his handler. I may go down and visit him too. Anyway, okay, y'all, if you're watching this on YouTube, you missed it on Substack. So please come to malcolmnance.substack.com and subscribe. Same with the rest of you. And if you can become a paid subscriber, please do it. I appreciate it. So tomorrow, same time.
And I'm heading for 11,000. If people go in and subscribe to me, I'll be passing 11,000.
Press that button
tonight.
right there. Press that button right there.
Yeah.
And get Jacob past 11,000. Same with Wajin. All right,
I
guys.
just get
See.
10,000.
Pip, pip, cheerio.
See ya.
Bye.